Hello friends, welcome to our channel Knowledge Amplify. And today in this particular video, I am going to discuss about RDS, which is Relational Database Service, one of the very popular service provided by AWS, okay, which is a cloud service obviously. So to do that, just log into AWS Management Console and go to RDS. So here you can search RDS and it will take you to RDS page. Okay. So here you can see the DB instance 0 out of 40. So out of 40 different DB instance you can launch. Currently no DB instance is there. I can go to simply create database. Okay. Now we need to choose which database engine we want, whether that is MySQL or Oracle or SQL Server or PostgreSQL. Even Amazon has its own database engine, which is Amazon Aurora, okay, which is completely managed by Amazon itself. So currently in this video, I am going with Oracle, okay. So I will just select that, and then here edition. Let us go with Oracle Enterprise Edition only. Fine. Version we are choosing greater than 18. Okay, Oracle 19, which is also fine. Greater 18 or above version is fine for us. Then template, whether we want production or dev or test. So basically, as this is kind of POC I am showing, so I am going with dev or test. If you are creating the RDS for your production deployment, then go with production system. Okay. Then DB instance identifier, let it give its default name only, database -1. If you want, you can change that. Then credential setting. So this is the username admin, which we are going to use whatever technology we are using, whether Python, PySpark, Talend, whatever username, password, and JDBC URL. These basic credentials required, right? So you have to remember this, that master username is admin, and then the password I can set here for this particular RDS, and then I have to confirm the same password. Okay, right? And then DB instance class. So here you can choose that the engine, whether you want heavy computation, big CPU you require, or small, that you can choose. So currently I am showing POC, so I am just going with this particular option, which will give us one small CPU for computation purpose. Okay, storage with this particular one itself, we are fine with that. Then here storage auto scaling. So as you know the importance of auto scaling, suddenly suppose your big data ecosystem blows up with data, that time auto scaling will help us to manage our that blown up system also. But as this is POC, I am using a small data, so I am not enabling the auto scaling. Availability and durability. So here I am going with the default one, that is do not create standby instance. So remember this, that if you are going with production deployment, that is if you are trying to create this system for production, that time you click this one or choose this one, that is create a standby instance. Okay, why? Suppose you are using only one RDS instance and due to some reason it goes down. Then if you don't have another copy of that RDS, that time what will happen? Your whole production system will go down, right? So we don't want that. If one RDS goes down, the backup is stored is another RDS already, so that will start working. Okay, and that internally will be managed by AWS. We no need to do that thing. Okay, so even the endpoint, the code will be also same. Okay, if transition happens between two RDS, so we no need to worry that much about those transition. How from RDS which went down, it will be replaced by another RDS which is we kept for backup. All this AWS will handle. Just you need to select this one for production. Currently I am using POC, so that I am using do not create a standby instance. Okay, and then here we need to specify the connectivity. So as you know, whenever we launch one particular AWS service, it is launched in a virtual private cloud, which is isolated from other virtual clouds, right? So we need to make sure that from external world, it is allowing the connection. Okay. So default VPC is fine, but we need to allow this external world connection. So I will go to AWS Management Console and I will go to VPC, and that default VPC what we are going to use, that there I will add one inbound rule so that it will allow the traffic. Okay, 76E44E0B is the VPC number. Let us go here. All we need to do, we need to go to security, and in that security group, and here we will use this particular VPC 76E440E0B, and this is the default security group. So all I need that edit inbound rule, and we will add that extra rule so that it will allow the external world also. So custom TCP, because TCP is required for connection protocol with Oracle and this external world system. Okay, port range. So if you want, you can specify a range of port, but always default port where this particular RDS will be launched is 1521. So I am choosing that. Source I am keeping as custom, and I will allow irrespective of IPv4 or IPv6 all traffic. That is most general one we are choosing, which we already studied in computer communication in our BTech course, that this is the anywhere traffic basically. Maybe we can choose custom, and then here we can choose this one. Okay, here it will be custom TCP. Okay, fine. And then here, okay, now all we need to do, we need to click on save rule. Okay, so this is allowing IPv4, maybe IP for IPv6 also I can maybe add one more. Okay, and so that will not get any issue. Yep, right. Okay, so for VPC we are all set. Now we are choosing this default VPC only. Subnet group keeping same. Public access we require, so I am choosing yes. VPC security group keeping default only, because you have just seen that this is the default security group of our default VPC. Okay, availability zone I am clicking on no preference, because this is just a POC purpose. But suppose your clients are located at a particular location, then you can choose the AZ in that region only, so that what will happen, the communication gap, the communication time will be reduced and it will be optimized. Okay, but for POC purpose I am choosing no preference. Additional configuration, as you know, the database port default one 1521 we are choosing. Password authentication enabled, and then we can click on create database. So it will be taking some time to create the database. Okay, if you see here, it is started creating. Okay, till then what we'll do, we'll create our Talend job. So here Talend framework, we want to one small little job we want to create, and what we'll do, from our local file system we'll ingest a file to our that Oracle RDS in a particular table. Okay, so that particular file, whatever we want to ingest the data, let me show you. This is the data which is popular IDs dataset. A small part I have taken, only IDs Virginica classes I have taken. As you know that there are 3 different class IDs, Setusa, Virginica, Versicolor. Okay, right. So first column IDs is integer type, second column, third column, fourth column, fifth column are double type or decimal type, and last one is string type. Okay, so all we need to do, first we need to make this connection. Okay, T Amazon Oracle connection. Okay, so this generalized connection will create once and we will use for many other places. So here we need to specify all these credentials. As you can see here, DB version Oracle 18 and above is chosen. We are fine with that, because for our Oracle RDS, the version we have seen 19 point something. So we are all okay with this, right? Then next component will be T file input delimited. So here we will read our file. So maybe what we can do, we can read the file. Our file is stored in desktop and then in Talend. This is the file, CSV file is stored. I am just choosing row separator /n. Yep, correct. Field separator is comma, and header is present. Yes, we have seen header is present, so I am specifying header as 1. Skip empty row. Okay, fine. And all we need to do, we need to specify the schema also. So here first column is ID, second column is sepal length, Okay, then next column is sepal width, petal length, petal width, and this id I will keep as integer column, and sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, as we have seen that is double, so I am choosing that one. So if you are having Talend enterprise version, you can use dynamic column also. Okay, so here double, and one more column is there which is class name. I will choose that as string. Okay, our schema for file is set. All we need to do, we want to show the data, so t log row we can do one row connection, and then here table. Okay, so let me just disable this particular, deactivate once, and let me run this, whether we are able to read or not. Let me check. Yeah, see, data we are able to read. So now we want to write that. So for that, Amazon Oracle output we will choose main connection only because data is flowing, and here we will choose use an existing connection. So whatever connection we established, we have to make this enable, activate current subjob, and then here use an existing connection, that is TDB connection 1. And if the job is successful, we will commit that. So T Amazon Oracle commit, and if the job fails, we will roll back. Okay, T Amazon Oracle roll back. Okay, and then here this will be triggered if the job fails, so on subjob error, and this will be triggered when subjob is successful, so on subjob okay. I will specify the component list as TDB connection 1, and here also TDB connection 1. So once the job is complete, whether failure or success, it will close the connection. That's why it is checked. Okay, for TDB commit also you can see it is checked. More or less our job is ready. Only all we need to do, we need to give the table name. Maybe we can demo testing. This is a new table which will be created in our Oracle DB. Action on table create if does not exist. Obviously it is not going to exist because we are launching a new RDS itself. And action on table insert, okay, and sync columns. So basically whatever input schema that will be coming here. Only point to be noted, the string column will be treated as varchar with respect to our DB, where we need to specify the length of the varchar column, right? As we know, I am specifying as 100. You can specify according to your own requirement. So this is more or less our job is. Okay, I'll clear this. Let us see whether our RDS is launched or not. It's still in creating status. Maybe I'll refresh. So it will take some time to launch the RDS. Once it is launched, it will be shown as available. Then only we can proceed further. Until then, what you can do, you can install SQL Workbench, because we are going to open this Oracle RDS using SQL Workbench only. Okay, so let me show you that, which I already downloaded. So here if I go to this PC and then here desktop, here my SQL Workbench is stored, and here this is the window command prompt. So I'll click on SQL Workbench. So here we need to this is SQL Workbench. Here we all need just JDBC URL and then username, password we need to specify. Okay, remember this, as this is Oracle instance, so we need OJDBC 6 jar. So you need to click on manage driver once you download this SQL Workbench. Here Oracle XML you can choose, and you can set the downloaded OJDBC 6 jar, whatever location is there, so that it can each time it can take from there. And class name will be oracle.jdbc.oracle driver. Same kind of thing we used for Scoop or other ingestion framework also, right? Okay. So that's what you need to remember. Username you need to choose according to your requirement. Like for our this case also username is admin. I will keep ready the password also. Okay. And how the code will be. So the JDBC URL goes like this: JDBC Oracle Thin. We use thin version because it is pure Java. So platform independence property will be maintained. Then colon @ / we need to specify the host name here, then colon port number, and then DB name with the slash. Okay. Then as you know that in Oracle always it follows the database inside that schemas are present, and inside the schemas tables are present. So we'll create one SFMIGR schema and we will grant the create table permission and unlimited table space so that we can ingest the data and it will not throw error. Okay, because we are giving the table creation permission to this. So we need to execute all this once the DB is pinned up. Okay, so we need to wait for that. It is creating. Okay, once it is created, you can just click on this one and you can get information like endpoint, which is our host name, port number. Moreover, you can go to configuration, and here in the DB name you can see the DB name is ORCL, right? So eventually now itself we can put in this query, this here it will be ORCL. Only we need to get the port. So port also we know, right? 1521 is the port. Only we need to get the host name. Okay, so it will take some time to launch this DB. Okay, so we need to like 9-10 minutes it might take. We need to wait for that. So I am skipping that particular time. Okay, I will again start my video when it will be in available state. Till then, you just keep on doing this refresh thing. Even you can see how much CPU utilization is happened, current activity, maintenance, VPC, all this information you are getting. Whether you have chosen multiple AZ or availability zone or not, that is also it is showing. Okay, right? So we will meet up again when the status will be available. Okay. So we can see now that the cluster is pinned up. Now all we need to do, we need to click on this database 1 and then click on this endpoint. We'll copy this, and in SQL server to make a connection, as I told you that instead of hostname, we need to paste this one. So this becomes our JDBC URL. So let us try once, and all we need to do, we need to paste that JDBC in this URL and we need to click on test. Okay. If something goes wrong, connection fails, then we need to check with VPC, because sometimes VPC makes error, but no, this time connection successful because I just kept all connection for IPv4 and IPv6, both default connection I gave all 0 port, that is the most basic one. So see, the connection is successful. Okay, click on OK. So once the connection is successful, we can enter in this particular page. Okay, so maybe here this is our workspace, and this is the, if I just refresh this is the basically schema or database tree what we can see. Okay, so now we can see there is no schema called SFMIGR what we have created here. So we'll just copy this one and then paste it here. Okay, so we are first creating the user SFMIGR. We'll just run this. User SFMIGR created. Now grant create table to SFMIGR. I have already told you what is the requirement. So the table will be created, and unlimited table space also we are allowing. So till now we are not seeing that. Maybe we can refresh this DB tree once and we can start seeing our SFMIGR. So this is the schema, and if we go to table, currently there is no table available. Okay, so we need to make a table here. Okay, so for that only we created this Talend job, and this is the table name demo testing. It should be created in the SFMIGR. So in the TDB connection we will be going, and we need to specify all these informations. So basically username, as we know, username is admin, and password I will be specifying here. Okay, port number is 1521, which is default one. Schema what we created just now, SFMIGR. Okay, and then database name. Database name is what just now I told you, right? That database name from configuration we can get that. That is ORCL. We can copy this one and then here we can paste in the database name. Host name is what? Host name we got here, endpoint. We'll just copy this host name, Control C, and here we will paste the host name. Okay, host name is pasted, almost all setup done. No additional JDBC parameter we are providing. I think we are all set. We will run this. If we are getting some error, then we will try it again. Okay, all we need to do, run this job. So the backend Java code will build up, and eventually once the connection is set, it will start migrating. So we can see that migration started, and if the job is successfully completed, if all the data rows are successfully inserted in our new table present in that SFMIGR schema, that time once the job is done, the commit will be executed. See here, OK is coming and we are getting exit code 0, which is very good thing. That means no error we got. All we need to do, we need to go back to our SQL Workbench. Currently we are seeing no table. We will make a refresh, and if we just refresh, here we are getting this particular table, demo testing. If we just expand this, we can see the columns also, whatever was there as header in our input file, which is present in local file system, that same column names, whatever is specified, those are coming. All these are float, and the last class name is only var. Okay, so maybe we can do select start from SFMIGR dot this one. Okay, and maybe we can run this particular piece of code to see our data in tabular format. Okay, see all this data it is showing. So this is how we can load our data in RDS, and this is how we can launch the RDS. I hope the launching and loading the data using Talend is clear to you. Like the same way, you can use this JDBC URL, username, password, and whatever configurations we are setting, port number, etc., and use the same for Python connectivity, Spark connectivity, or anything else. Play with it. Okay, so last thing is closing this database. So to do that, all we need to do, select this, go to action, and then click on delete, and then here it will just, you need to write, see, to confirm deletion, type delete me into the field. You need to write delete me, and then you have to just click on delete button. That's it. Okay, so I hope the whole discussion is clear to you. If it makes sense, if it is helpful to you, then please like, share and comment. Subscribe our channel if you have not subscribed till now, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get the notification of our latest videos. Thank you.